Dear Danielle, aka the only girl I would fly to meet in a pandemic. I've been philosophizing about what it means to love. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer, but I think I have a hunch. It might be that love is barging into the penthouse office and receiving a smile in spite of interrupting the flow, rolling on the floor and kicking our legs in the air, microwavable stuffed animals, ice bath tears, long walks, great talks, gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free, lentil-free, soy-free, cooking, fun socks, self-cleaning ovens, pandemic pumpkin pie, buying soft sheets, washing hands for 30 seconds, picking out suits for 5 hours, reading scripts, day-old Indian food, haikus and unfinished books, mint balls, negotiation practice, falling for you in the forest, copying each other, jokes, laughing, skipping, galloping, bug spraying, trash walking, recycle strolling, swing dancing, salsa dancing, slide making. I would go on, but I don't think these pages can contain my love for you. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life unlocking the mystery of love with you. And even if we never fully discover what it means to be in love, I have a hunch we'll have a good time trying. Forever yours, Drew Blue.
Fate generally puts us in a place where something really, really amazing can happen. And it comes down to this deeply rooted ability that we have, that if we listen, we can get there. I think fate brought all of us, every one of us, to this room. In the midst of one of the strangest periods of probably most of our lives, look what happened. Fate put these guys in a situation where suddenly that opportunity presented itself, and they had the courageousness to go in and say, all right, this isn't the way it would normally happen, but why not? Why not?
Perhaps the unique beauty of the love between two people is in its fundamental incomprehensibility to anyone on the outside of it. That true love is one of those rare yet essential things in life, in which it's meaningless to try to understand, and yet everything to be able to appreciate.
So there's an amazing idea that Judaism sees that we can elevate mundane acts to be holy, to be lofty, to be noble. There is a story about a great rabbi named the Baal Shem Tov, very righteous and connected individual. He had an experience, a revelation that he found out who he would sit next to in the world to come. And he found out who this man was, and this man was a very simple homesteader. And the only thing interesting that he found about this man he sees that this ordinary man eats an exorbitant amount of food. And he says, why do you do that? Why are you just sitting and gorging yourself all day long? And the man says, let me tell you a story. My father, when he lived, they had the pogroms. And they took my father, who was a wisp, a thin man, and they threw him into the flames. And he perished. And he decided that if they came for him, he wasn't going to let them throw him in so easily. Because life is the most important thing in the world, and to live is the highest thing we can strive for. And so we see from this story, we see here that something even like eating as being just ordinary things, but actually this story and the Talmud is coming to tell you, no, if you eat, you're eating as if you are fasting, as if you were doing something holy and noble and meaningful. And so too in marriage, even the mundane acts are actually holy and noble and meaningful in the scope of a marriage. And that's the idea.
Oh, yeah. Welcome everybody. I just wanted to share a quick thought about one of the things that we do at the wedding, one of the blessings that we make, and something that I think is very appropriate for Drew and Danielle. We're going to make 7 specific blessings, and one of the blessings we're going to bless is that they should be as Adam and Chava were in the garden, as Adam and Eve were in the garden. Why is it that we're specifically blessing them to be like Adam and Chava, like Adam and Eve in the garden? So the rabbis explain that there were 2 things that were very unique about Adam and Chava in the garden. One was that they were incredibly unique. There was literally nobody like them in the world. They're incredible individuals, and at the same time, they knew that they were perfect for each other because there was no one else there. So it's true. My wife and I have had the honor of knowing Danielle for a long time. When we first met Drew COVID met Drew on online and on the phone. After the first time, we hung up, and my wife and I just smiled and turned to each other and said, "Yep, there you go. That's it. He's the one." And I think it's very appropriate that the 2 of them share a beautiful combination of things that is rarely found in people, and that's the ability to be a passionate individual and yet commit yourself to a global truth that's something greater than yourself. There are people who are great at being individuals and finding their own voice, but they don't have the ability to be part of something greater. And there are people who are great at being part of a cause and don't necessarily know how to find their own voice within that. And Danielle and Drew have both share this amazing quality of being able to find their own voice and their own strength and do that within the framework of Torah and Judaism. It's a beautiful thing, and may we bless them that they should be not only great individuals, but great Jews, and build a great Jewish family together. Amen.
Mikudeshes, Li, Bitabas, Zu, Kedas, Moshe, V'Yisrael.
Name pen.
I heard that somewhere. Okay, everybody get ready for the mouthful. Ready?